Ace Attorney, baby. Alright, case 4. Case 3, it's been a few days now. Last Thursday was when I last played it, and today's a Tuesday now, of the next week.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed.
Exactly.
Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover.
Exactly.
His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Just can't help wondering. Mr. McGilder really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo, just that never managed to ascertain the truth. And the trial ended. Well, you didn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Yeah, Magnus McGill passed away immediately following the trial. Yep, he was in that fucking omnibus during the fire, wasn't he? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until the next engagement. Time enough to talk. We have a lot of questions, I do suppose. Could you perhaps give us more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me. It's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes. It's a murder? But don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died. As yet. What do you mean? Are you some kind of fucking fortune teller? The trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research this case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. The trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh yes, I'm just a little confused. That's all. Yesterday's trial was, well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face something. I don't know if I could face standing in the courtroom again after Mr. McGilder's trial. Ah yes, I nearly forgot. There's one similarity with yesterday's case. It's a murder case. There's currently no one to advocate for the defense. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. If that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome. The most terrible end awaits the defendant. There's a lot of fucking inconsistencies here. Yes, that's right. Here we go again. One more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something that you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I'll be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. It's had 34 seconds. Oh, well, Cosmo always used to say, you see, that he wants to learn how the create justice system in the world worked, so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I have to work towards that myself. And it's another thing. Continue. On the way there, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I must have to do. Something very important. And what exactly would that be? He never had the chance to tell me. I suppose he wouldn't have done if he ever made it to Great Britain. We're out of time. Well, thank you for enlightening discussion. Mr. Naruto, what's all this about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. I'm taking the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. We'll be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. With so dark at the back, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative, is here to see you. Stop by at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I? My cat, as yet with no name, calling me by number is utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruto, what? What do you think is going on there? I have no idea. I wasn't just hearing things, was I? What tired of complaints was in Japanese. Oh. Excuse me. Who? Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. Right. So, could I ask you, who exactly? There you are. You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? You mean you no harm, prisoner-san? Are you Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for the outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown. Here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumental, moving moment. What the fuck? Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Shanghai, sent it to us? We're trying to be a fellow Japanese? Ah. What compassion to my fellow countrymen show. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never falling Nippon. A first-class lawyer? Oh dear. I think there's been some misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example. Yes, I can. I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent. What the fuck? This guy is a little off the rails, but sure. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruto. And I'm Naruto-san's judicial assistant, Sasato Mikoto. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notorious named Natsume. Tosuke Natsume. He's a student? He has a fucking big mustache for a student. Well, I'm never going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. Well, fine Sholmes, isn't he? I mean, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in this case. Are you just gonna ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, You had no idea of the man's address, even. So how? It's Baker Street. How the fuck? How'd you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, this hasn't to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Sato gets any more exciting and unpredictable. Guess we're meeting Iris as well. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage. Does Holmes know about Wilson's death? Because I'm very concerned about what happens when he finds out. So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, cutscene.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Good day, mate.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Quite the nice place we got here. 12:53 p.m. Sholmes' suit. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Is it as described in the stories, Mr. Sato? Sato? Many famous cases have been solved here, in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog, down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruto? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind, I just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me. Ah, she's obsessed. A little. Well, as our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Iris. Hello. Is it a big news case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait. Aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. The tea is brewed, and I have freshly baked cake as well. Shit, brother. Ah, it's you! I knew it. Sato recognized her, too. What did she do with, the other girl? Well, good day to you. I'm, well, an adventurer, I suppose. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGillicuddy's trial in the defense antechamber. I've never met a lord from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. It's fucking poisoned. Don't do it. Is tea supposed to look like that color? Yeah, it's... Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Alright, it's winter. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. Must be exhausted after a long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley? Hurley? That's quite a cute nickname for the detective, I will say. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. You met this girl on the first time ever yesterday after trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all these things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here with Herlock. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Okay, they're finally bringing up Wilson's death in Japan. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Sato? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yeah, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruto, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, Sato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Okay, sure. Susie and Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. About before. Yes, what's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer? We'd arrived in London, I mean. Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to— oh no. We're doing one now? First of all, I know already that you were a lawyer, you know. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in Britain's antechamber. But you also said that we only just arrived in London. How did you know that? As a passport and a travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Iris is a lot more, yes, smart when compared to Sholmes. So I was really confident that you have only just arrived in the country. On top of that, you accept the case against a particular prosecutor telling me you're unaware of London's court affairs. Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed a red ink stain on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah. You used these stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. Ah, I didn't realize. The red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, they told me that even though you had only yesterday completed the trial of Magnus McGilded, so you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. Whatever, neither of you are wearing a particular sad expression on your face. To conclude that the foreign prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been at home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. Obviously amused him, he told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Now Reno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must have be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion these facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. True. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. That's... well, psychotic. That's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner? Was my deductions correct? Very. They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I say I don't. You're a busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. Present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship? The fuck? Her ladyship? Get here at once. Come in. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Holy fuck. This is one hell of a room. There's a cat too? What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the man of old books that are responsible for that. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither. It's so dark in here too. Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. For some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsumi lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Have you? No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Geardev told us, the detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Alright, Sholmes, where the fuck you at, bro? Yeah, this side of the room? Ah! Just away from view. Hello, Sholmes. How's it going? Ah, look, Mr. Naruto. Aha, there he is. Where did he appear from? Seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. Hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, you two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Bureau. Yes, of course, the Bureau. Let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Cosmo Soki. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us. Yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Isogi. There's the one with the snake, wasn't it? Alright, Sholmes, buddy. I think Sholmes is here for more comedic effect more than anything. Iris is a smarter person here. Oh, well, you seem to remember something of it at least. Well, in order to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr. Oh no, my dear damn, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my spirit-proud recollection. Their names are safely recorded in my brain. Attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. Yes, quite. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suit the day we arrived in London, but some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away at the crime scene. Try a trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. They apprehended Soseki in that short amount of time. The pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollections of her past involvements a little. It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can extend to an extent. I do my best to forget useless facts lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, these are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. It means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madame, I should be only too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Huh? Yo, Sholmes, what you doing there, buddy? You good, fam? This crockery display is rather unusual, isn't it? Why, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Well, the shelves seem to be broken, and the crockery is... oh dear. It's in pieces. It really is. A word cracked wouldn't do Chinaware justice. Aha, I wonder. Perhaps a cannon was fired at it. Yeah, it's probably something like that. But let's not delve too deep into it. Let's just talk to Sholmes. Ah, what's he doing there? Mr. Sholmes? Ha, we meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir. At your service. What were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. That Sally, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, lacks a percher for such observations. I take the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up there. Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do and done, I'm gathering. Ah, one more thing, Mr. Naruto. Oh, me? Perhaps you might be in need, but certain great detectives... Great mind. Wait, she's not talking about great deduction time, baby! Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There's a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes were see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruto. I think so. There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let's conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Girdeb, though I would see you are a military man of considerably distinguished service. Staying as a landlord is most certainly not what one would call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions that have been resolved by a careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? First, is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. What? And the second, is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruto, look! The woman is working on a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions both spot on. How could you possibly? I gotta possibly know? You mean to inquire? But the answer couldn't be simpler, sir. We're in that dense jungle of logic and reasoning. I am the king of beasts. Alright, Sholmes. I know only one, and I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Great deduction. Nature of the beast. You certainly shouldn't take great detectives to sea. That ferocious beast has been on rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with this question: what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Girdeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. Yes, though an armed man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. Why is this pitiful, I ask you? In the end, your admiration becomes so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimens shipped in from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. Wait, there's a slap on his face that I didn't realize was there. Yeah, living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. Traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. What could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madame? Me? I'm afraid you do consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one single interaction. It is? The wrist pocket gives us a handsome clue to the beast's current whereabouts. Protruding from a handbill advertising the circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Gearded. At Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in this nearby park. I have observed the tents. So let's have this lion circus trope. I certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. A simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through the ring of fire. That's a little ambitious, but sure. Aftermath. Now, Mr. Gerdeb. It's plainly clear that you still have a deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, this loss has caused you to be very tangible. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders. The pain you feel is revealed by the swelling arm. And in fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. Strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man. I simply... What? We must ask ourselves in the true cause of this pain. We need to only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the power of bills that has given rise to the pain that you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. 4 carloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has been devastating impact on the financial circumstances of the household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one final unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? That's meant that which we previously be seen by observing carpet over there. A kind of woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh dear me, what could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madame, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye settled up upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the Tower of Cakes. There's no creature more dangerous in this earth than a beast with an unsated appetite. Was there, or was it not once said to be certain noblewomen? If they have no bread, let them have cake. Who is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. Sure, need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. According to a frenzy by hunger, lion attacked and ate the carpet. Teeth marks on the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Again, a little ambitious, but sure. Let's complete Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastie puzzle. actions can be strongly sharp. Stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Even revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruto. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room with this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. Here, find truth. All too often lies behind the realms of common sense. Wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? The uncaged lion had run amok in this very room. Surely Mr. Daredevil and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you're stuck. Now, that former military man held his own against this beast using that large cannon. You said that they sold the lion to the circus. What about the food? Eating potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Oh, my dear Sasato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruto. It's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling this was coming. A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions needs. You can do it. Excellent, I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruto. I don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Nasumi's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least that's what I wanted to believe. Let's start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Course correction. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but you observe Mr. Garrett's reaction. It seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. It was a cat, wasn't it? Was it Natsume's cat? That's possible. So what was it then? Let's follow Mr. Garrett's gaze. This leads to the true answer. Let's get Garrett's wedding. Looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something like that must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. What happened? Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Huh. I think it is the picture. Let's give it a try.
Take that!
True nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrett. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and know to consider horsepower they must contain. Oh, indeed, surely anyone with such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honor might be stretching a point. The maid is his wife, isn't he? And she's kind of fucking crazy, if I had to guess. Too late. The facts remain that this beast, which is so clearly established in this room, was your wife, Mr. Gyardeb. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself, because this angry creature have disappeared too. Madame? But you do consider me unchivalrous. What is plain to me with one glance in your direction. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clues as to Beast's current whereabouts. Poor fragile defenseless woman is beside herself. Now, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Gyardeb anywhere. Seems there might have been a clue to her whereabouts. Clue that his maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Gyardeb's wife could be. Oh, so look at that.
Take that!
You're wondering gives us a handsome clue to the beast's current whereabouts. Indeed it does. The flower band gleaming on your finger gives it away. For it to be identical to be shown in this hand of Mr. Gyardeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary housemaid. No. You are Mr. Gyardeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gyardeb herself. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. I should rightly summarize, this is the wife, yes. My Joanne. Let herself go, you might say, but she was a balls of forfeit back. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you're a tried army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you would have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? I'm second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? My God, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid as an employ. Yes, in London, one is rather judged. A sort cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearance are a folly. You mean Mr. Gyardeb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gyardeb? Only in company, obviously, but listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. The raging wife of Mr. Gyardeb. Now, Mr. Gyardeb, it is plain clear that you still have a deep feelings for your formidable beast. Indeed, in that blessed pose, the stress this loss has caused you very tangible. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders, and you feel being revealed by a swirling arm. Mr. Sholmes, last time you still call Mr. Gyardeb's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. Mrs. Gyardeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that's one man that seems to be propping up his head, some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gerard's pain is intangible though. What could that pose of his really signify?
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulder, the pain you feel being revealed in the slapped cheek. And of course, the liver of the impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. It was you, Madame Joanne Gerardeb. Oh yes. You have been desperate to have it slapped on your cheek, sir. How the blazes? How'd you work that out, man? That was like the most obvious part. I think this gives the nose of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us, even once. Keep your other side from view. Now, let's proceed to the next conundrum. Why are you subject to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Gerardeb to find your rage. And we need only to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. It's not the bills. It's the powers that's giving the rise to the pain you suffer. Did Mrs. Sholmes say that bills were all for that line powder? Yes, but now that we said that the line never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all the food is Mr. Gerard's wife. Mr. Nardo! She's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, he's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One sword that left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd like to know the answers to that question. Let's have a look here. Now someone might have read this book a little more. There's a bookmark here, look. It's clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. Was he cheating on her? Is that the reason why she's angry? It's a note written in a woman's hand. Look, what's this here? Memorize it with lipstick. Makes a gesture. Don't get any ideas, Sato. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this is actually a love note then.
Take that!
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. At the center of the note, a certain Miss Mary is applying the ointment here. I don't know that volume. You don't know her. And it was written to me. It's in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say. That's right. That's what I was saying. I like these stories. Now listen here, Joanne, old thing. I spent at the time. But the book is a second-hand place, and that note must have already been there. So, the owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. The name is, in case you've forgotten, is John. Damn. Stubborn one, huh? This is actually a fucking abuse. This is domestic abuse in the fucking flesh. And there we have it. Suspicions of female harm have unleashed the beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, upon a bit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unmentionable attack. She's the killer. Which can be clearly seen observing the cover over here. It has a very expensive wound called, if I'm not mistaken. It causes the destructive outburst. This time, madame, I'm afraid it is you who has revealed the truth to me. My wandering eyes have settled the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, explain the dire state of the carpet. We only need to look at the tattered cake. Surely Mrs. Gildev didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. There doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. Well, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We only need to follow Mr. Gilderev's gaze, and that will tell us the answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Ah, there's a candle here. Cab. Oh, okay, I see it now, I see. There's one candle missing.
Take that!
Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, you only need to look at the candlestick. It must illuminate, my dear fellow. And of course, the only possible way out of the logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, there are. The scorch marks on the edge of the clearly give the way of truth. The scorch marks. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Gerda's mighty arm muscles left an impression on her husband's face on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the shoulder. In seconds, the carpet was lit, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, one of the most ferocious beasts in the world is neither about a lion or revenge alone, but fire. That's true. That ferocious beast bared his claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion here. As the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was a scene of fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you. Oh. Deduction complete. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Nasumi is eagerly waiting our turn, so we can get to prison before the visiting hours are over. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We're so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese. Oh no, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, is it thorough friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact? Herlock, what are you doing here? Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save per observation, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room and unmasked the secret identity of the eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Room for room. At least your accommodation here off the window, my dear fellow, in that sense, is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. How dare you, Herlock Sholmes? I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in these accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck has been cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is damned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? You mentioned that once before, didn't he? His lodgings were accursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Curse is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. But in man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial, what's that supposed to mean? So assuming, what do you mean by what you said just now about the trial tomorrow being cursed? No, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. Didn't mean anything at all. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial is really cursed somehow? You're referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it succulently in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived the trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly. Yesterday, Mr. Naruto successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. I am impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Von Zieks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. Oh, there's a very likely possibility he did. You have a wonderful notion. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Of course he is. Of course he is. Then, why are you trying to scare me? Could be said, however. The real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Von Zieks is a quite exceptional man. Having learned the course of law, exceptional, does not equate to winning every case without exception. He looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion, in particular, is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, so on. That's such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. It means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, it's from time to time, my dear madame, it's simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Von Zeeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, in months they all disappear. It is most striking. By all manners of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the fountains and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by raging fever. Perhaps attacked by a highwayman. Oh no. All example of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruto. I knew it. I'm dead, dodo, done for doomed. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Gerardev's house, assume. You mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. Well, I'd only been in London a week before I started to know strange feelings in myself. Didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started becoming nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself in the room, but even that didn't help. Fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. Better to move a number of times, most recently to the room on Briar Road a week ago. Yes, why do you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap, I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. And it was just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He clearly tried to cover his mistakes, but it was too late. So I told him, if I have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place. Yes, well said. It was true. It was all true. You mean, the room really is cursed, then? Since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I've been choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded as a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Well, there was someone, there's one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Mr. Naruto? Pray, what can I do for you? About the case on the SS Bureau, if you recall? The Bureau. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. At the time, I was a suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us investigate. I did it, didn't I? Interesting. What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in the locked room? Well, you like, yes. I'm a little surprised at the unsurprised explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I couldn't have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I never recall believing in you, nor in which you were telling me. Nor in that which you were telling me. You see, all things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what it is to believed and what is not. If I should like to believe some, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. Ah ha 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 ha. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right. Welcome to Mr. Naruto, Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. Got a flashback to Cosmo? Yep. The defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. That comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You're so right, Cosmo. Well, my dear fellows, it's time we were leaving, I believe. Already? This announcements are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume? If you like, then trial tomorrow. I'll be happy to represent you. Hi. Welcome to Mr. Naruto, Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. Even though the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruto. My instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of his crime. It's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome to Mr. Naruto, Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruto, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. We need the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mr. Sato, yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Judgments of yesterday's trial will weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Haza believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time that I learn to believe in myself. Seki has no one, he's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all my strength I can muster. To be continued.